Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Dark and Rose here, and I'm gonna be honest, this is actually just a completely remade intro for this round of narrating. And the reason why is because I sounded really depressed and stuff like that, and did not want that. Because I mean, we're all supposed to be happy and stuff like that. And I do sound tired in this narration as always because, well, man. I had a difficult time, and I just saw on the channel that we went already over 50 subscribers. I'm thankful. I thank you guys so much. I don't know how I can repay you guys. It really means a lot to me. Anyways, before we start this narration, well, before we start the actual like commentary narrations and stuff like that, because this is actually like a already like post narration, remember to share this channel to other people that may be interested in like hearing narrations and stuff like that. And I also know that there's people like, you know, telling me like, suggesting me their stories because they want to have someone's opinion on it and possibly narrated. Well, okay, I'm not gonna be an asshole or anything like that, but I mean, I'm so fucking busy and stuff like that, and with streaming, writing, and this, it gets a lot of stuff on me, and I still want my break time where I at least play some games like without the whole public on me. And I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna stop taking suggestions, but I might not get to everybody's suggestions more than how it used to be, because I still read the stories that you guys have, you guys suggest to me, but I don't think narrating them will be a good idea, because I still have this to narrate, and then I got another story to narrate. Oh, and also, I've been suggested 2 stories thus far. No, I've been suggested a story, not 2. Because one of them is actually The Princess's Rogue, and that was because I actually asked the author if I can narrate it, and it came upon me that people have been wanting me to narrate the story called Children of Summer. Well, I have not heard of it at all. I've not heard of the author, and what I like to do is that whenever I want to read like narrate stories, I want to make sure that I have not read them before, and I pretty much read a lot of fanfiction by now. Oh shit, I'm tired again. Wow. And yeah, alright, so I'm gonna make a poll with you guys. So what will be the next story I narrate? Because we're reaching like the halfway point of A Beacon of Hope, and I actually want to start doing another story along with The Beacon of Hope. So I'm gonna make a poll with you guys. Which one should it be? Should it be Children of Summer, or should it be The Princess's Rogue? The only down part of this is that I already read The Princess's Rogue. I'm still reading it. It's still not finished, but I mean, it's still long enough that it's gonna take a while before it's gonna take a while before I get to the point where it's not finished. But yeah. It's up to you guys. It's either Children of Summer or The Princess's Rogue. I'm gonna leave that to you guys, and let's get along with the narration. Here's chapter 25. Falling petals in an angry rose garden. Take hint to the word angry. I want to know what it means though. This is in some random POV. We do not know though. One of the student sluggers has been deployed near your location. You have approximately 50 seconds to get out of there. If it's a student, then I have nothing to fear, darling. I will carry things through until the end, just as planned. I smile, tapping the small intercom within my ear, killing communications between myself and my little partner in crime. I gaze down at the 2 unconscious forms at my feet, sitting within the small confines of the slowly rising elevator that is bringing me to the top of the Cross-Continental Transmit Tower, or the CCT. I lower down to a knee, spotting one of the scrolls of the guards out, and on a screen that is currently displaying available Wi-Fi signals. I grasp a small device, bringing it closer to my face so I may look at it. After scanning the screen for a moment, I now know the password for Beacon's Wi-Fi. As quickly as I took down the 2 guards in the elevator, I dropped the now useless scroll in an even more timely fashion. Let's see. I reach into the small pocket of my skin-tight black pants. Next to another pocket, it keeps us a large amount of red dust in case of any confrontation that requires my semblance. I tug one of my gloves off, making it easier to use my thumb on the touchpad. I open up the Wi-Fi tab, find a Beacon campus Wi-Fi, and quickly enter a newly discovered password. Oh, now I know whose POV it is. Everyone's gotta know. Beacon, but instead... it's like, do you know the Wi-Fi password in that one episode of the Volume 2? It's Beacon, but like, replace the E with a 3 and put the pound sign at the end. As my scroll starts to connect, I place my glove back on and snap my head towards the elevator door when I hear a small ringing sound, indicating that I'm at my stop. At the same time, my scroll vibrates, letting me know I now have the Wi-Fi saved. That's handy, I say to myself while the elevator floor opens, and I proceed straight ahead, gazing at the several rows and columns of computers. But the one I want is the very first one I come across, the main console. I sit myself down in a large cushioned chair, placing my scroll on a small pad near the monitor that is used for data transfers while I quickly search for what I need. Let's see. Here we go. Schneidus Company Cargo Transportation Schedule. Excellent. I waste no time pressing a button on the console to begin to transfer data onto my scroll, along with leaving a small bug within the system to give me access to whatever else I will be needing from the database. I can hear the rest of the machines scattered throughout the room begin to light up in response to the master computer being used. It takes all but 10 seconds to get all the data I need, placing my scroll into the secure pocket on my thigh and setting up to make my leave. That is, of course, until I hear the elevator door open, and make it a point to lower myself behind the counter just as a precaution until I know who it was that had the lack of common sense to continue through a trail of unconscious bodies. Hello? I hear a squeaky little voice call out. I peek over the desk carefully, looking at a relatively short girl with black hair and white tips. It was a lovely combo to say the least, but it did not seem to be what she would normally carry. Hold on a second. This is loud. Alright, here we go. Sorry, guys. She's wearing what I would consider a semi-casual red dress, complete with a white sash to complement her hair color as well. But in her arms, I spot what reminds me of our confrontation many months ago when Roman was thwarted during his robbery from dusk till dawn. The useless prick. Anybody there? I hear that voice call out again. I definitely knew this girl now. I saw a different hair color does wonders for throwing a person off, but that innocent melody in her voice and that giant scythe in her hand reminded me of just who she was and how skilled she most likely is. But nonetheless, I know I can take her, and that is all that matters. Shouldn't you be at the dance, my little rose? I whisper with a husky strain on the word dance. I do not raise myself from my hiding place, and the high ceiling of the room made my voice echo plenty to hide my location well. Yes, I should be. I can hear a snarl in her voice. I should be there with someone very close to me. But after seeing you running along the rooftops, I couldn't ignore it. Cinderfall, you're getting sloppy. Well then, let's strike a deal. I purr, standing up and exposing where I am. I step out into view of the scythe-wielding girl, my left hand resting on my hip and my right hand hanging on my thigh, resting near a small pouch with red dust sitting within. I'll quietly make my exit, and you can go back to your party. No fight, no questions, no hassle. We both know it doesn't work like that. Now take off that mask. I don't have time for this. She snarls again. I remember seeing her as a far more optimistic girl, but she seems all business and in a rush to get to the dance. I wonder what is at the dance, or rather who is at that dance to have her in such a state. I'm sure I'll find out when I rendezvous with Emerald and Mercury. Sorry, dear. I'm actually quite fond of this mask. But maybe I'll see you around. I slowly move my middle finger along the pouch to open it without the little Reaper in front of me noticing my slight movement. At the slight click of the pouch being opened, I slowly curl my fingers, causing about half of the dust I keep inside to rise out and begin to crystallize itself into several extremely thin shards. You're not going anywhere! Take the mask off now! She screams, then undoes the safety switch on her weapon and chambers her bullet. I told you, I'm quite attached to it. Now if you're not going to shoot, I will gladly make the first move. Without giving the girl a chance to react, I flicked my index and middle fingers violently towards the girl, the barely visible shards approaching her within an instant. I created 8, and they did their job perfectly. 2 going into her thighs, calves, upper arms, and forearms. Ah! I hear the girl scream out and take a quick shot at me with her gun scythe. Still able to do that, eh? I whispered to myself, slightly impressed. I lift my hand up, incinerating the bullet before it can even reach me. And now just my open palm towards the girl. The orange lining of my stealthy attire begins to glow, along with the ring of my amber eyes. The 8 impaled shards light up, heating themselves within her flesh where they are, making her wince in pain and drop her weapon. My shards just temporarily paralyze each of her limbs. Damn, that hurts. Each of her limbs. That's gotta hurt. I point my index and middle fingers towards her now, slowly curling them towards me, the motion making each shard slowly pull from her flesh, not leaving a single mark or scar. She may have been a slight annoyance, but we don't want her showing up to prom with burn marks now, do we? I should kill you now, Red, but every girl deserves a happy prom night. You'll be able to move in the next 30 seconds. So like I said earlier, I'll see you around. I smile, looking at the stress in her eyes, or relief as it appears now that she knows I won't kill her and be done with it. I walk up to the window on the far side of the room, quickly carving the 8 shards into the glass and rotating them to cut a large hole in the glass so I can kick it and jump outside the window. The high descent from the floor of the CCT tower becomes nothing more than a feather landing when I form 2 blades in my hands and jam them into the wall, slowing me down until I am no more than a couple of yards above. I make my blades disappear, landing quietly on the ground. But now I needed to do a little patchwork. I opened the pouch on my other hip, gesturing to send uncrystallized dust up to the 2 long gashes my blades made within the wall. I set the red dust inside the cracks and let out a slow exhale while I focused on my semblance, the dust heating up and melting the gashes shut, making it appear as it did prior to my vandalism. My next step is changing my outfit. With a practical motion of my hands, I can hear a small chiming sound, followed by a dim orange glow around my body when my catsuit's changed into a formal black evening gown. To complete my shift to incognito, I take off the lovely mask I've grown to admire and crush it within my hand, leaving the remains on the ground. I tap my earpiece, turning it back on, and begin to speak. Emerald, it's done. I'm on my way back, but do me a favor. Keep an eye out for a girl with black hair and white tips. Black hair and white tips? I don't think I've seen a girl with black hair and white tips in Beacon. Emerald, don't think. Obey. I tap the earpiece to turn it off. To avoid any additional encounters, I take a small stroll, taking a long walk towards the edge of the large area and then following the walls of the buildings to get to the prom area. My detour turning a 2-minute walk into 10 minutes, which is just what I wanted. The moment I walk through the large doorway, I am greeted to the sight of several students slow dancing, some appearing to have 2 left feet. Other students are seated along the several round tables cascaded with white, and out of the corner of my eye, I can make out a set of mint green hair and a set of silver hair not too far apart. There you are. I shimmy my way through the crowd, keeping the 2 sets of hair in my sights until I begin to see the bodies they are attached to. The mint hair cascading over the red eyes and ebony flesh of a relatively short girl. That's Emerald Sustre. I don't know how to say her name, guys, I'm sorry. Her last name. The silver-haired boy dancing with her is Mercury Black, a sarcastic, overconfident ass, but those character traits are irrelevant. He has done the 2 things I required of him, that being his loyalty and just simply obey my commands. Mind if I cut in? I whispered while approaching the two. Emerald making quick to step from Mercury. As she departs, I tap my earpiece to leave it on for now. Keep an eye out for that girl, Emerald. Understood. And how's your night been? Mercury asked with that trademark smirk of his. A little more exciting than expected. A smile crosses my lips, thinking of that girl from earlier. Something about her, the way she carried herself, the anger in her voice at not being able to be here. It has caught my interest and I plan on learning more about her and seeing just what it is that makes the Red Reaper of Beacon Academy tick. Oh, should we be worried? His question brings a slight chuckle to my lips. Hardly. They'll be scratching their heads long after we finish what we came here for. So then what now? Cinder, she's here. Hear Emerald's voice whisper in my ear. I look over at Mercury's shoulder to the doorway, seeing the girl from earlier, but without the deadly weapon my nickname for her, which is Red Reaper, derives from. I keep a careful eye on her as she appears and disappears through the crowd. Enjoy the rest of the night. After all, it is a party. I whispered to Mercury before stepping away from him, carefully making my way through the crowd of couple dancers. I lost sight of her, Emerald. Upstairs, near some blondie. I pause where I am. The balcony is directed above me. I look over my shoulder, brushing my hair away from my eyes so I can see a little further than my hair would normally allow. Sure enough, I see her leaning against the banister, talking to a tall blonde girl in a yellow dress. Teammates? Isn't that Yang Xiaolong? She beat Melanie Malachite in the pit about a month ago. She's talented. I nod my head, walking over to the set of chairs that were set along the side of the room and sat down. I watched the conversation between the two. It seems Red is explaining what happened and why she is late based on the gestures she uses while they speak. My concentration on them is broken at the sound of two people conversing 2 chairs away. One of them sounded like a girl with a very slight slur in her voice, possibly having had a drink or two to loosen up. The other voice being a suave boy who may be trying to get a decent conversation started. You know, we should hang out later, Snow Angel. By later, I mean like tomorrow maybe? Not sure, but you seem a little tired and groggy. Otherwise, tonight would have been nice for a small walk. I look over to them out of the corner of my eye. He has a sea blue hair color and is currently standing up. The person he is talking to is sitting, but there is another person seated between us, not allowing me to get a clean glimpse. That sounds wonderful, Neptune. I don't think Ruby would be too happy with that. The girl follows with several giggles. Where is that girl anyway? I did my hair like this just for her, and she has the audacity to not show up? The rants of anger, or whines of anger, can never be taken so seriously from someone with such a relaxed tone. I am no professional on drinking, but this girl seems to still be clearly aware of what is going on, but instead suffering a possible personality change. Why would it matter? I mean, yeah, Ruby's your team leader, but why should she get the final say in who you hang with on your free time? He disappears from my sight now, sitting himself next to his current companion. Because she's my dolt. Another series of minor giggles follow. The sort of giggles given when a joke passes and it takes several seconds to understand the pun, resulting in a laugh that is more to yourself for not being able to catch on sooner. Oh, well, speaking of Ruby, there she is, I hear the voice say, addressed as Neptune say. I turn my head and look back up at the balcony, seeing that Red is no longer there, but instead she is hurrying down the stairs with a distasteful look on her face. I lower my head, allowing my hair to cascade over the side of my face and hide my profile from her. Ruby, you dolts, you made it! I can hear the sound of heels touching the floor, and when I look over, I now see the partially drunken girl stand. Cute twin tails. Wait, she's a Schnee. Actually, she's an heiress. Keep my eye on the white-haired woman while Red walks up to her, placing her hands on the Schnee girl's shoulders. Weiss, I'm sorry I'm late. Don't be mad. I got caught up with something, and I wanted to make my sash and hair white so they look nice and surprise you. But it took longer than I thought. Then something happened at the CCT, and then I rushed here. Found Yang, found you, and now I'm here and I'm really sorry. I think she just broke a record for the most words per minute. Ah, shit. I should have said that fast. Oh, psh, it's fine, you dolt. We have a lot of making up to do. Azina's no air squint and look towards the ceiling a moment. Or making out, depending on what the case may be. Weiss, are you drunk? The silver-eyed girl's eyes widen. Nah, I had a drink to calm my nerves. Didn't want to relax. Didn't want to keep from getting angry. Didn't want just cause Neptune got it from me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The punch is spiked? Neptune asks while he stands up, entering my view once more. I drink water. I had no idea. I swear. He goes wide-eyed, but I'm not sure why. I turn my head carefully to look at Ruby and see a glare full of killer intent in her eyes. Were you trying to hit on Weiss? She asked, those eyes of her squinting locked onto Neptune. Not at all. I mean, I was chatting with her, but I didn't know the punch was spiked. Wait, that actually explains why Sun was breakdancing during a slow dance earlier tonight. The people around us felt the awkwardness in the air, and to keep their happy mood, they moved a few feet away and kept their backs turned to the ongoing spectacle, all for me who sat quietly and listened in. Neptune, stay away from her. There it is again, that threatening voice from such an adorable form. It brings a smile to my lips to see such a fire boiling within. Wait, Ruby, you should know me better than that. Yeah, I like Weiss, but I would never in a million years try to butter her up with a drink. I asked her to hang out tomorrow or something because she seemed groggy. I didn't think it was the punch, he defends. Neptune, she's mine. Wait, what? I looked to my right at him, seeing a look of shock on his face. A similar look taking my face as well when I look ahead of me to see the two girls embraced in a very compassionate lip lock. I see. So this is why you were in such a rush. Understandable. Like I said, she's mine, Neptune. Her eyes pierce his after she breaks the kiss. I begin to chuckle, seeing the Schnee heiress resting her head on Ruby's shoulder, completely oblivious to the conversation going on. The pale, slender fingers holding on to the jealous girl's shoulders, and possibly being the only one keeping the enraged Reaper from getting close to the blue-haired mess of a boy. I thought I was supposed to be the angry one, but I guess when I'm not angry, Ruby rose to the occasion. Several more giggles escaping the drunken airs. Weiss, your bad puns are adorable, but let's get you to the dorm room. You still have common sense, but I don't trust anyone else around here. I watch as the brunette gives a soft kiss to Weiss's temple and interlaces their fingers prior to making their way out the door. I look back to Neptune, who is standing there in complete shock. I assume he just watched a girl he liked get taken away by someone of a different gender. I guess I could be of a bit of moral shock. Poor guy. I lean back in a chair, smiling to myself as the two girls leave my sight and out of the club. Like I said earlier, enjoy the rest of the night. After all, it is a party. Alright, so that was pretty much my Cinder voice. Kind of. So, tell me how I did with my Cinder voice. Alright. Oh shit. This is the chapter he was talking about. Shit. Alright. Chapter 26. A Tainted White Rose. This is in Ruby's POV, by the way. So then John comes out, and he's in this frilly dress, and just starts to dance with Pyrrha. Nobody could stop laughing. It was just so funny. Weiss giggles, although that's nothing new. The giggling, that is. During my walk from the dance to our dorm room, I figured that Weiss is a giggly drunk, much like my sister Yang, but Weiss is a lot more affectionate, while Yang would be more flirtatious. I'm glad you have fun, Weiss, I whispered to my girlfriend. I have my left arm around her waist, holding her at my side while we walk. She can walk perfectly fine, but I feel a small obligation to keep her at my side. That, and the fact that she keeps touching my white tips on occasion, which brings a bright smile to my lips. Yay, she likes them. We're now just in front of the room door, and while I take out my scroll, I realize that it's only 8 p.m. The dance started at 6 and will be going on until midnight, meaning it wasn't even halfway done. I didn't get a single moment there. Ugh, damn people and ruining my prom night. This was supposed to be a great day. I place my scroll to the door, hearing the movement of mechanical parts while it unlocks. I place my scroll back into the side pouch of my dress and push the door open. At this point, I let Weiss go and close the door to the darkened room behind us. Weiss, could you get the lights, please? I ask while I go to the bathroom to see if the white dye that Ren used stained my skin anywhere. He said that he never uses any cheap dye, and this is guaranteed to last a full week before it even begins to fade. But I am perfectly fine with that. I want to make my tips white for Weiss, and so far she has made little gestures showing she liked them. Or at least I hope she did. And that those were not little things she decides to, since she possibly has a short attention in her current state. Oh man, I was yawning, but I kind of stopped. I've been listening to the same 1-minute song for the past 20 minutes. Oh, sorry guys. I'm kind of tired because I was streaming earlier during the day. Alright. I lift my hair and turn my head, checking everywhere along my neck and shoulders for any form of white spot, but happily there was none. Ren did an expert job, just as I figured he would. I was already running late since Ren was a little slow at working my hair, only because he wanted to be very careful and not mess it up, considering this was for prom, and Weiss. I let out a soft sigh, seeing the light turn on over my shoulder in the mirror. Just as I'm finished checking for any marks, I feel my scroll vibrate and quickly reach down to see who messaged me. It's from Yang. Don't be too hard on Weiss. I have heard the first 3 cups. She's still pretty sober, you know, just more jittery and confident. I spent most of the night she was here with her, and by the way, I did say I'll give you a free pass. I won't be home till midnight, neither will Blake. Just at least be covered when we get back. Greatest sister ever. Yang, by free pass you meant... RWBY! I can't get this zipper down! I'm coming, princess! I holler out with a smile. Weiss had a slightly more whiny tone to her right now, and it was beyond adorable. I step out of the bathroom to see Weiss already has her heels kicked off and is struggling to tug the zipper of her dress down. I walk behind her, getting sidetracked by her twin tails without realizing it. I begin to brush my fingers through each, unable to shake the little smile I have every time I look at them. You dolls! Hurry up! Weiss practically sinks out to me. She still had her quickness to get annoyed, but couldn't portray any form of annoyance in her voice. It is just too cute. Sorry, I squeak out, shit. Taking the chances to pinch the top of Weiss's dress with my right hand, then grab the zipper with my left and carefully tug on it until it eventually gives in and slides down. There we go. Want me to get your nightgown? I'm not as intoxicated as you think, RWBY. Weiss looks over her shoulder at me with a bright smile and half-open eyes. I'm tipsy. Fuck. I'm not drunk. I just get a little carefree when I've had a few cups. Wait, you drank before, Weiss? I ask with wide eyes. Several, RWBY. Just because I'm an heiress doesn't mean I do not like to experiment here and there. I just do so for the safety of my room while my parents are off on one of their extended business trips. Also, Weiss turns around, using her right hand to pinch me on my shoulder. Ow! That's for being late. She pinches me again, this time my other shoulder and with her other hand. That's for kissing me with so many people around, and this. She looks into my eyes. I'm ready for one more pitch. Oh, I almost said bitch, but it was... My shoulders tense up to absorb the brief pain from it. Instead of a pinch, I feel her fingers dig into my shoulders, making me wince and close my eyes from the mild pain. Weiss is strong when she's tipsy. Weiss, I begin, but it seems for once things have been switched around. I can feel Weiss's lips gently placed to mine, immediately granting my silence. It is at this point that my battle between my desires and my self-control begins. I want Weiss. I have wanted her for a long time, but it is right to do this now? But is it right to do this Is it right to do this right now? She's perfectly aware, but at the same time, there's not even a right before now. God damn it. But at the same time, she could also be doing this on the courage of alcohol, and that's the very last thing I want. That's for dyeing your hair for me. I love it, Weiss says while she pulls from our kiss. Her left hand now brushing along my hair and cheek, and her right hand resting on my hip. I just thought... God, I'm yawning a shit ton today. Ugh. It was something you may like since you love the color white so much. And, well, My hair was the only thing I could really compromise with. I opened my eyes, looking to Weiss's soft gaze. A smile held on her face that fit her so naturally, and her stare was dreamlike. I am getting lost in her eyes, and I could feel her getting lost in mine. My hands begin to move on their own. From resting on my sides, they slide over Weiss's hips, making my girlfriend smile even brighter at me. I love her smile so much. I love her eyes. I love the way she looks at me, the way she scolds me. I can find a positive in anything about Weiss. Even if it is one of her worst traits, I can find something good that comes out of it. My arms started to feel weak, along with the rest of my body. I parted my lips to utter a word, but only choking my own breath. Normally, I would at least have had the misfortune of stumbling over my words several times. Ruby, I'm sorry, Weiss whispers to me. I snap out of my gaze, noticing a tear rolling down her cheek from the corner of her left eye. Without hesitation, I bring my right hand up to her cheek, using my thumb to wipe away the salty liquid, still smiling at my girlfriend. Why are you sorry? I ask, giving Weiss a gentle push to get her to step backwards and sit in her bed after a few steps, and then sitting myself next to her, but never moving my hands from where they rested. You don't need to pretend, Ruby. You wanted to be at the dance, and quite frankly, I wanted you to be there the entire time as well. It would have been our first prom together, but things happened, and unfortunately those things came back and bit us in the ass. Weiss, I don't care about a stupid prom. The whole point of me going was to be there with you, and right now I am with you, and that's all that matters. I smile at Weiss, who leans over to rest her head on my shoulder. I reach around her back to hold her close to me, but jump slightly when I feel the cold, smooth flesh of her exposed back, having completely forgotten I unzipped her a few minutes ago. I jerk my hand back, making Weiss look up at me with a slight worry in her eyes. Something wrong? She asks, inching herself close to me until I feel her thighs touching, and she is able to sit upright. Not at all, Weiss. Just forgot that I opened your dress, and, well, touching my bare back felt like some sort of taboo to you? She both completes my statement and asks with a question. That tipsy smile still across her face. Yeah, pretty much. I feel my face begin to redden, and in an important attempt at hiding it, I turn my head away, only to feel Weiss's index and middle finger slide along my neck to my chin and turn my head back to face her. Don't be selfish, Ruby. Huh? I look at Weiss with confusion written all over my face. Weiss smiles, keeping her right hand underneath my chin and placing her left hand behind me so she can lean towards my ear. Hiding the cutest face and veil from me is very selfish of you, I hear Weiss whisper with a relaxed, sultry tone to her voice. At her words, my arms begin to tremble. Her cool breath in my ear and the slightly flirtatious tone with her words is edging me closer to wanting to pounce her on the bed. Weiss's fingers trail away from my chin and begin to brush down my neck until her palm is touching the top of my chest. I can feel my heart pounding against her palm, and feeling her touch only makes my heart pound harder. Ruby, I decided to take advice from your sister. Weiss begins to speak, at the same time pushing me back on the bed. I fall back onto the soft mattress, not even getting a chance to prop myself up on my elbows before Weiss lays back as well, laying on her side right next to me. Her hand still on my chest and her right leg draping itself over my thighs. She props herself up on her left elbow, allowing her to look down at me. That giggling smile of hers is replaced by some sort of mix between fear, nervousness, and deep down, a glimmer of happiness. Ying told me I'm far too uptight, and I need to loosen up, she begins to explain, laying her head down on my shoulder, nuzzling her face into my neck like an affectionate kitten. I start to giggle at the feeling of Weiss's twin tail brushing along my skin with the little shakes of her head she makes, along with a light barrage of kisses she plants on me. So, she's told you that before? She's told you that before, I whisper, sliding my right arm underneath Weiss to hold her close. Fuck! Why do I yawn? What is wrong with me? I whisper, sliding my right arm underneath Weiss to hold her close to me. In my words, she lifts her head from my neck, a blush coating her lips. Sorry, spaced out. So, well, I had a drink to keep myself from getting anxious for you to get there faster. She leans down a moment to kiss at the spot right where my neck and jaw meet, just below my ear, and then continues. Then I asked her for another. This one was to calm my nerves to enjoy the night. After she speaks, she places another kiss on me, this one on my right temple. Finally, I took a third. I wanted this one as assurance that I would be able to say anything I wanted to say to you that night. I told Yang why I wanted the third drink. She was hesitant, not wanting me to be too tipsy for you. A third kiss comes down on my cheek, and then another slightly closer to my lips. It's just she refused to give me another, so I went and asked Neptune for one more. I saw you enter while I was drinking it. Weiss reaches out, turning my head to face her and look into her soft blue eyes. Ruby Rose, if I did not have 4 cups of spiked punch in me right now, I would not be able to even utter these words. But know that these drinks only gave me the confidence to ask, because I have only dreamed of being in this situation. Weiss's cheeks are a beet red. I could tell she is fighting away her giggles and her urge to bury her face back into my neck. But eventually she does just that, hitting her face against my neck while she whispers something barely audible to me. Ruby, I want to aid our love. Weiss, I couldn't hear you, I whispered to her, dragging my fingers along her exposed back, trying my best to calm her enough for her to say it. It must be really important she has trouble saying it with alcohol in her system. From what I have been told, mostly by Yang, alcohol is one of the most effective truth serums. I want to I reached down while Weiss stutters with her words, tugging her from my neck so I could turn and face her. Weiss, just say it. Nothing you can say will make me look at you differently. You'll always be my ice princess. I lean up, pressing my lips to hers. Over what was meant to be a kiss to calm her nerves turned into something far deeper. The moment our lips connect, Weiss presses me down onto the mattress, her right hand back to pressing me down by my chest, and her left hand holding my shoulder, not letting me move away or towards her. Weiss, you choose the worst times to kiss me like this. I begin grinding my thighs together, trying to fight away the growing sensation between my legs. Weiss's tongue claiming my lips in one of her most aggressive kisses. Her right thigh eventually slides up to rest over my waistline. Her tongue invades my lips, finding its way to make contact with mine. They begin dancing in a spiraling embrace, throwing my mind further into a haze while I try to match Weiss's movements. I feel the pressure of her right hand leave my chest, making it easier for me to pant through my nose. I make out the faint sound of some sort of material snapping, dismissing it as if Weiss's skirt getting caught underneath her and getting stretched. I can feel Weiss begin to slow down and pull away to break her lips, but I don't want her to. I lift myself on my elbows, desperately following her retreating lips, but she keeps pulling back. Despite my whimpers of disapproval, I shift my balance onto one arm, reaching out with the other for Weiss's head, but she slaps my arm away and pushes me down to the mattress with a soft thud. There are tears in my eyes, but not from her breaking our kiss. My body is burning. I need Weiss to touch me. Oh god. I am wearing red panties with a black heart on the front, but at this point, that has no value. They are drenched, stained with proof of my need and arousal. I need her to please me, but how do I ask that of her? I'm slowly being torn apart with my thoughts, unable to decide between what is morally correct and what is correct for myself. On one hand, I can somehow say what I want and hope Weiss feels the same desire as me. But if she does, I do not know if she is only abusing the fact that she is tipsy to go through with something she normally wouldn't have the heart to. On the other hand, I can try my best to deal with this and find an excuse to shower, although I will come out of the bathroom far dirtier than when I entered. Ruby, look at me. Please. I can hear her distress in Weiss's voice, the please at the end coming out in a hushed whisper. I open my eyes slowly, my vision blurred from the tears of frustration I shed recently. I look at Weiss's outfit, seeing the fishnet material over her right shoulder shredded and the dress hanging down on that side, exposing the top of her right breast. Ruby, I need you. I look into her eyes. She could not have meant those words in the sense I was thinking of, but her panting, her body language, everything pointing to it. Weiss, I'm not sure if you mean... Don't! Weiss shouts at me, burying her face into my shoulder. I can feel the heat from her blush radiating against my chest. My flesh. Fuck. I need to get this stress off. It's getting too warm in here. I want to consummate our relationship. I heard Weiss whisper in a shaky voice. Now. She wants you, Ruby. Look at her. She needs you. Why are you so still? Why are you not moving? Ruby Rose, your girlfriend needs you. Now. My entire body jerks as I am snapped out of my daze by my inner voice. I can feel Weiss's heavy panting on my shoulder and the shaking through her body. She wants you. I gently reach for her head, kissing Weiss's temple before trying to lift her head from my shoulder. She needs you. I watch as tear-stricken blue eyes meet my own. I reach both hands up, causing Weiss to close her eyes while I use my thumbs to wipe away her tears. Whether they are from embarrassment or from frustration like me, I have no idea. But again, that has no value right now. She's your princess. As my thumbs move from her eyes, she opens them again, greeted by my warmest smile. A smile that should tell her all she needs to know. She belongs to you. Ruby, I quickly bring my index finger to her lips. I give a shake of my head and smile at her once more. I move my other hand to her hip and carefully lift my leg to wrap around her waist. She is mine, and that will never change. I feel my Fuck, I know what's gonna happen. I feel my body move onto its own accord. I swing my leg tightly around Weiss's waist, pulling my heiress on top of me, but then rolling her off of me so I can then roll onto her. My left knee is now planted firmly on the mattress, my left and right hands resting on either side of Weiss's head. I look down at her beautiful eyes, my lips part and accompanied by constant panting. Weiss, I get the same treatment I gave her earlier, a finger pressed on my lips, followed by a gentle head shake. This time, both of us exchange a smile. For the first time tonight, we are on the same page. Weiss cups my cheek in her hand. I love having her cold fingers against me. Just like I did earlier today, I trap her hand against my cheek and shoulder, sighing in content. While I sigh, Weiss takes the liberty of dragging her thumb along my lips and taking it a step further to pull her thumb away each time I try to wrap my lips around it. Her adorable giggling making a return. I get back at her. Fuck. I'm yawning. Nah. To get back at her, I reach down to her right shoulder, pulling on the ripped fabric of her top to further stretch and rip it open, resulting in Weiss's small, perky right breasts being exposed to me. Don't rush, Ruby. She's not going anywhere. I bring my fuck, I had to do this myself. I bring my arms from the sides of Weiss's head to her shoulders, making it easier for me to lean down and trace my tongue around her perky nipple and pink areola. I cannot even say that right. I hear sharp gasps coming from my princess, each one coming when I inch my tongue slightly closer to the little nub at the center of her breast. Despite being in contact with her right breast, I can feel the strong pounding of her heart and her heavy breaths that follow. Ruby, she says out during her exhale. Don't just leave yourself unattended. Her most innocent way of asking me to move to a position that she can tend to me in return. But that's not what I want. My gender is burning, my legs are weak, but I want to make Weiss scream my name before anything else. I'm dread of my name leaving her lips while her mind is being sent through a world of eternal bliss. I want Weiss to scream my name. I need Weiss to scream my name. And Weiss will scream my name. Just relax, I whispered to her, delaying my attention to her breast while I speak. How about we get you out of those bothersome clothes, Her pleading look changes completely on my suggestion, and she quickly nods her head, more than willing to sit up after I climb off of her, and then standing up with me. I waste no time in helping Weiss shed her outfit, pulling the fishnet off of her shoulders and letting the entire dress fall to the floor, leaving it as a white ring at her feet for her to step out of. While I look at her slender form, I am left breathless. Her pale skin truly resembled the pale, unblemished characteristics of snow. Her soft breasts that were covered by a dress-integrated bra are now in complete view of me. I fight the urge to simply reach out and fondle them, instead turning around for Weiss to start helping me with my dress. I quickly undo the laces in the front of my outfit, feeling the material loosen around my hips, torso, and chest. When I am done with my part, Weiss slides the dress down from my shoulders, lowering down to a knee. Keep tugging it down until it releases my body and drops to the floor, forming a red ring around my ankles. I feel so exposed, but I'm exposed to the one I desire. Man. The person who will look at me and cherish every inch of my body will make love to my personality. I carefully step out of the ring, kicking the dress across the room somewhere near the foot of Blake's bed. Just as I'm about to turn around, I feel Weiss's arms wrapped around my waist and her cheek pressed to my ass. Oh my god. Oh, Weiss, I gasp out, trying to wiggle my hips to get her to let go with no avail. Sorry, Ruby, but this is the cutest bun in all of Remnant. It's hard to resist. Yep, she's definitely tipsy. The science we had going on was now broken, but I prefer it this way. Weiss and I love communicating with each other. Silence was never something that existed between us, so why should it exist now? I wanted to scream my name. Weiss, if you don't let go, then I can't take my panties off, I tease, wiggling my ass more against her cheek. Within a second, Weiss releases my hips and is standing up. I turn around now, looking at her with the sweetest of my smiles. Something is controlling me. Some sort of force that knows what I should be doing in this situation. Is this what love and lust feels like? Weiss, you're mine. Forever and always. I quickly push her onto her bed, crawling on top of her before she can utter an ounce of disapproval. Weiss, just let me love you, I whisper while I loom over her exposed form. None of us has made an attempt to cover up our bodies, either from the shock that we are about to consummate, or we are just comfortable enough with each other to not feel ashamed of how we looked underneath our clothes. But that's another one of those does not matters, isn't it? Just please be gentle, Ruby. This is my first. For the first time I hear a bashfulness in Weiss's voice that has surpassed any other time in the past. The reaction from her is just what I need to feel this weird feeling inside of me. It's my first too, Weiss. Speak up if I do something wrong. I lean down, her eyes closing and lips puckering and expectant of a kiss from me. I hope you won't be too disappointed, Weiss. I bring my lips down on the nipple that was previously covered by her dress, which was the left, pressing my lips around the areola in a perfect circle, prior to starting to suck weakly and drag my tongue around the hardening nub. I hear a sharp and feeling Weiss's back. I hear a sharp and feel Weiss's back arched. I must be doing something right. I reach my left hand out to her other breast, letting her know it was not forgotten. I can feel her scrubbing underneath me. My princess is happy, are the only words in my mind. I continue to spiral my tongue around her nipple and knead her other breast, trying to decide to trap her nipple between the second knuckle of my middle and index fingers. The effort earning a choked back moan from Weiss. That's it, princess. Sing those beautiful melodies for me. I pull away from her nipple with a soft pop, admiring the glisten my saliva is left over for it. I look up at Weiss, who is now panting with closed eyes, and a blush that covers her entire face. It's okay, Weiss. You don't need to stay quiet, I whispered to her, planting a gentle kiss beneath her breast, then another one slightly lower. Before I realize it, I am now on my knees at the bedside, kissing just beneath Weiss's belly button. Ruby, what are you doing? I heard Weiss shout at me between gasps. I don't know myself, Weiss, but I am making you happy, and that's all that matters. Just relax. You trust me, right? I give her a soft smile. She nods her head, propping herself up on her elbows and watches me while I begin to tug down her beautiful white panties. God damn it, I sound so fucking perverted. And they were as pale as the snow, except of course for the damp slit in the center of them, undoubtedly from her hidden gem beneath. God damn it. I should have gotten someone in a Skype call and they could help me out with this. I slowly tuck her panties down to her thigh, allowing me the unforgettable sight of her bare sex. The part where her legs joined with her pelvis was glistening with her juices, and her nether lips were drenched in her own right. So. I don't fucking know.
Holy shit. Oh, it's so close.
Oh my god, it's gonna suck. Close the door on your way out. Gracias. Oh my fucking god, my sister walked in the fucking room. Okay. Where was I? Shit. Oh yeah, here you are. I love you, Weiss, I whisper, more to myself than to her. I pull her panties down to her ankles and toss them across the room with my discarded dress. I carefully place her slender thighs on my shoulders, my eyes glued to the side of her dripping nethers. Oh my fucking god. I hook my arms over her thighs and reach over to place my thumbs on either side of her puffed lips, gently pulling my thumbs apart and allowing me to see the glistening pink flesh of her inner canal. I inch myself forward, adjusting my body to let it run on instinct. When I am centimeters from her sex, I shiver at the unique scent she has. It's completely indescribable since there is no scent that comes even close to it. From now on, I will know it as hers. I close my eyes, letting my tongue slip free and gently swipe the tip from the bottom of her drenched slit, all the way to the top, feeling my tongue brush over a small bump. Ruby. Oh my god, fuck me. The most awkward narration ever. Man, fuck me, man. This sucks. I hear Weiss cry despite her clenching her thighs. Hi, kitty. Do you want to help me out with this narration? He's brushing his head against the mic. Quit your shit, kitty. I hear Weiss cry despite her clenching her thighs, driving my head between her legs and turning her thighs into a pretty good pair of earmuffs. Let's try that again. I lean down, mimicking the same motion and the same response follows, but this time I stop just shy of the bump I felt earlier and begin to flick my tongue over it, quickly realizing what it was. Weiss's thighs begin to clench on my head harder and harder, and I can feel a twist in her body while she squirms and fights to keep still for me. Out of curiosity, God damn it, Keek, man! Go. Need you to go. Don't sit on here, please. Out of curiosity, I stop using my tongue, waiting for a few seconds after her move and stop. I am elated to be greeted by Weiss now bucking her hips for me to continue. Oh my god. Even reaching down to grasp the back of my head and try to pull me in closer. She stops her bucking the second I drag my tongue over her clit again. After a while, I begin to develop a rhythm. Lick from bottom to top twice, give 3 flicks to her clit, and do it all over again. With my constant tongue lash, she can't seem to stop squirming, even for a second. She moves her hand from the back of my head, and when I open an eye to see why, I am greeted by the sight of her playing with her with her breast, while her head is tilted towards the ceiling. She is truly lost in bliss. I keep my tongue in motion, watching her lips reading the little words she murmurs under her breath, most of them being variations of the word yes and more. And needless to say, I am more than happy to collide for Weiss. I make a tighter hole in her thighs, deciding to go for a different approach this time. Instead of swiping up a longer slit like I've been doing, I run the tip of my tongue to prod her vaginal canal. Oh my god. Weiss's squirming stops, and instead her back arches and lifts from the bedside while my tongue slowly works itself into her thickly lubricated hole. You're mine forever, Weiss. Oh my god, please, I don't want to cry out anymore. Fuck me. Oh man. You get to hear a guy imitate a girl moaning. Fuck! Alright. I'm gonna try to be as best as I can so that the immersion is great. Hey, she got a drop. Deeper, Ruby! For Redmond's sake, go deeper! She cries out. I've been dripping through my panties for a while now. The lightness of touches could send me over the edge, but I want Weiss to be the one to do that. I unhook my arms from her thighs, also pulling my tongue out of her hole and standing up, much to her displeasure. Ruby, why? Please, I need this. She cries and pleads for me to continue, and I will. But there's one thing I need from her. I hop onto the bed, landing over her with the use of my hands and knees to avoid crushing her in a Weiss sandwich. I give Weiss a quick kiss, dipping my tongue into her lips to give her a taste of the new flavor I'll now love. I'll take care of you, Weiss, but I need you to promise me something. I whisper after breaking our quick lip lock and tongue tango. Anything, you dolt. Never go near Neptune again. My eyes soften and whatever has been taking its hold on me becomes stronger than ever. Dolt, you're the only person I want in my life. Of course I'll stay away from him. Weiss shouts in a mix of anger and relief at such a simple request, but it means the world to me when she agrees. Thank you, Weiss, I whisper. The invisible fuck. That invisible force inside voice letting me free to control myself. I decide to turn around, placing my knees on either side of Weiss's head while I bring my head back down to her between her legs. Please, take care of me, Weiss, I whispered to her before I go back to dragging my tongue over her clit. Oh my god. Without Weiss's thigh over my ears, I can now hear every moan and squeal she makes to the fullest, driving me to lick faster. Oh my god. I feel Weiss's trembling fingers moving my panties aside, exposing myself to her. I can feel myself dripping in need of Weiss's touch. I look below me, between Weiss's body and mine, to see her staring at my dripping wetness. My face begins to burn with a forming blush from seeing how focused Weiss is staring at it. Yeah, I'm fucking staring at those fucking words. I'm still feeling a desperate need for her touch, and the next thing I know, I have my legs spread further apart and my hips are now lower, snapping Weiss from her trance with my needy sex sitting centimeters from her face with no way for her to turn. Please, Weiss, I call out over my shoulder, wiggling my hips, hoping to entice her to do anything at all. I don't need to wait long, and let out a choked moan when something thin and long slides inside me. I rest my cheek on Weiss's stomach, savoring the feeling of having that small item pistoning inside me. I I didn't say for you to stop, dolt! I hear Weiss scream before a second item of identical shape joins the first inside me, both now moving at an even faster speed. I dig my nails into the bed, turning my head down to go back to eating out my girlfriend. Oh yeah, great. Thank you for saying eating out. I quickly try to muffle my moans, pushing my tongue back into her depths, and when I finally moan, I let the heavy vibrations draw out several ear-breaking moans from Weiss. She moans pretty loud. I hope Team Juniper isn't back yet. Oh well. Oh my god. Hold on. Alright. Ruby, just a little more. Oh my god, I sound so stupid. I smile, hearing Weiss's cute little screams mixed with demands. I pull my tongue out of her and quickly replace it with 2 fingers. I rest my palm over her sex and started moving my fingers in and out of her in short, quick motions, watching her legs tense and toes curl. She looks like she is so close to coming, but somehow she's been able to fight it off for so long. My girlfriend has monster stamina in bed. God damn it, kitty. I can't help but lean down. Hubby pushed my girlfriend over the edge by dragging my tongue over her clitoris while my fingers continue to work their magic. Just before she begins to moan out, I feel her insides clench around my fingers, telling me she is right at her peak. At the same time, I feel whatever is in me before it be taken out and replaced by something more flexible. Weiss's hands grab onto my ass firmly, pulling me down onto her while she lets out a high-pitched moan. A sudden vibration inside me makes me realize that her tongue is buried as deep as possible within me. My entire body begins to quake. I feel a massive rush of heat focused within my loins. And before I can utter another word, I begin to cry out in complete ecstasy. My juices coating Weiss's tongue, lips, and a decent amount of her cheeks and chin for my heavy climax. I begin to slowly pull my fingers out of Weiss's soul while also lifting my hips from her face. But her firm grip on my rear doesn't allow me to get too far. Not yet, Ruby. I like the taste, she whispers, following up by pulling my hips back down and just dipping the tip of her tongue inside me. I find my hardest not to squirm, letting her, and definitely like me, enjoy the treatment for a little longer. I look at my fingers after I pull them out, seeing them drenched in the thick, clear liquid. I smile, not hesitating to bring those fingers to my lips and begin cleaning off my 2 digits. Weiss cream. I wonder if it tastes good with strawberries. I let out a sharp gasp when I feel Weiss's tongue go deeper inside me, making me jerk my hips up and earn another cute whine from her. As much as I would love to lay here and let her keep going, my body is telling me that I'm far too sensitive to continue for tonight. Sorry, Weiss. I'm at my limit, I whisper while crawling off of her and laying myself at her side. I look at her face, seeing the space around her lips drenched in my cum, and my curiosity takes the best of me. Hold still, Weiss, I commanded her. I lean over her form, starting to carefully lick around her lips, doing my best to clean up whatever mess I left on my girlfriend's face. When I finish, I look and see her cheeks a rose red and begin to giggle at how adorable she looks right now. Not funny, dolt. I didn't ask you to do that. You didn't complain to me doing it either. I encounter and lean down to give Weiss one more kiss. We could share a bed, right? I look at her with a smile plastered on my face. As long as you don't pull the covers off of me. I don't have the energy to go get close. Good. Then we sleep naked, I announced and reached down to shimmy out my red and black panties, throwing them across the room as well. You know your sister would see all of our clothes on the floor when she comes back, right? Yeah, but she gave me a free pass, so it's okay. I grin. I'm not even going to ask. Weiss shakes her head, crawling to her pillow to lay down. I crawl next to her and bring her white covers with me to cover the 2 of us. Before I lay down at her side, I reach behind her neck and undo her necklace, earning a questioning look from her. I'm gonna put it back on, don't worry. Are you sure? I nod my head, wrapping my arms around Weiss, who then wraps her leg over my hip and ass. You're such a dolt sometimes. A jealous dolt at that. But you're my jealous dolt. And don't you forget it, I shout out in happiness. I reach over Weiss's shoulder, hitting the switch on her lap to allow the room to be blanketed in darkness. I bring myself closer to Weiss, our breasts pressing together. her sticky thigh draped over my hip, and her lips gently pressing to mine before she lays her head back down to sleep. I smiled to myself, knowing very well that tonight was the very best prom night ever, and can't wait to enter my dreamland to see what other tasks will come to mind after what I just had the pleasures of going through. That was pun intended. Man, dude, I fucking hate that. That was so stupid. Oh my god. Next time when it's 11th chapter, I'm just gonna ask for help. I know some people that can help. But maybe I might ask for some people that... Let me ask. I forgot what I was gonna do. Sing. One more chapter. Because I didn't expect it to be this long already. It's already like an hour and 6 minutes long. Alright. Chapter 27. Or maybe I might go to chapter 28. Who knows? Jealousy has a sister. This is in Blake's POV. Blake, go on ahead. Weiss and I need to take care of something. I look at Yang, who is standing next to me, but gazing over her shoulder. I trace her gaze back to see Weiss sagged behind and is looking at the old clock tower off in the distance. About time Yang starts making friends with her sister's girl. Fucking shit. I was trying to put my hood on. I guess not. About time Yang starts making friends with her sister's girlfriend. Wait. Fuck! Okay, I'll start over. It's still over. I'll start over. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Blake, go on ahead. Weiss and I need to take care of something. I look at Yang, who is standing next to me, but gazing over her shoulder. I trace her gaze back to see Weiss sagged behind and is looking at the old clock tower off in the distance. About time Yang starts making friends with her sister's girlfriend. Don't be too hard on her, I whispered to Yang and continue walking inside. I decided to keep a brisk pace, not wanting to overhear any of their conversation. As far as I'm concerned, it is a chat between future in-laws with how Weiss and RWBY are clued to each other, and I would be more than happy to see that. I watched those two from the very beginning, seeing Weiss wince and cringe while RWBY's in the arena, either fighting a creature grim or another student. Only to scold RWBY on her poor fighting form. Weiss always found some way to relay her concern in a scolding manner, even the Yang's many threats of beating the poor snow heiress to a bloody pulp. It became obvious to me that Weiss was undoubtedly a Cinder. As I entered the large ballroom, I decided to make my way to the punch bowl and get myself a drink before Yang has a chance to spike it, which I'm pretty sure she will. It wouldn't be a party that Yang helped put together unless she added her own unmistakable twist to it. And knowing the blonde as well as I did, wow, it's really far back. It would be what she would find to loosen the mood and get everyone else enjoying themselves much faster. I shimmied through the relatively small crowd of people, seeing the large rectangular table off in the distance. As I finally clear my way past everyone and have a clear view of the table, stacked with several red cups, a punch bowl, several 2-liter bottles of soda off to the side. I reach out for one of the red cups, but I feel a hand brush mine away, and when I turn to offer my death glare, I am met by the optimistic smile of Sun Wukong. "Hey Blake," he says with a wave of his hand, the same hand he used to stop me from getting myself some punch. "Hello, Sun. Is there any reason I am not allowed to get a drink?" I stare at him with my emerald eyes while I reach for the cup once more. "Well, I was going to offer to do it for you. Try to be a gentleman one time. I'm even wearing a shirt. And it's buttoned. Do you have any idea how uncomfortable this is for me?" I shake my head, watching as he tugs at the white tie of his semi-formal outfit. He's only wearing a dark gray short-sleeved dress shirt, accompanied by blue cargo pants with a white belt. As usual, he is wearing his tradition red and black wrist bracers and his black and yellow sneakers. I suppose I should be proud of him for at least trying to dress formal, despite how poor of an attempt it is. "Well, you look nice, despite being out of your element," I whisper, while I grasp the cup in one hand and the ladle for the punch bowl in the other hand. I take 2 scoopfuls to fill my cup millimeters from the top and take a small sip from it to avoid any spilling. Thanks. Isn't we easy word stuff? Don't know how people do it? I feel so restrained. I interrupt. Exactly! Someone who understands. Not exactly. I'm used to tight clothes, I say to him with a shake of my head, walking him out to find a table to sit at. Should I save the Katsu joke for now or later? He asks, entering a small jog to catch up to me before matching my walking pace. You're worse than Yang. Just give up on the puns while you're ahead, son. I sigh, finding a table at the left corner of the room when looking in from the doorway, relatively close to the door should I need fresh air. Son decides to sit at the table with me, although I make a point to show no interest in holding up a conversation with him. I did not want to come with him to the dance, and should not be subject to his company the entire night. If I wanted his company, I would have accepted one of his many offers that extended to double digits. Oh, come on. That was totally a good one. He holds his arms apart in a mild protest. Besides, I have a better sense of humor than Yang, he commented, making me immediately roll my eyes. Oh? Like you mentioning I used to be part of a cult, quote unquote? I flashed him a swift stare, then looked back at the group of people on the dance floor. I catch a large patch of blonde off in the distance, but above the group. And when I lift my gaze to check it out, I see Yang standing on the balcony of the room, staring right at me while she hands Weiss a cup of punch, without even looking to the snow-haired girl. What is up with her? Okay, it was a joke made in bad taste. I get it. The son grabs his chair, moving it over to sit in front of me, almost blocking my view of Yang, but I can still see her focused stare over his shoulder. Wait, is she jealous? Of Son? I suppose I could forgive you. I turned my head to look at him, but still keeping a glance at Yang with my peripheral vision. Just don't do it again, got it? I shift myself in my seat, crossing my right leg over my left. She slid on my right thigh, allowing my leg to slide more into view and show my pale skin glowing from my mid-thigh and down. The gesture earning an orange flash from over his son's shoulder, confirming my earlier suspicions. Yep, Blindy's jealous. Not a problem. From here on, I will be the no pun intended Sun Wukong. He smiles brightly with a heightened enthusiasm that makes me smile, since it is a trait I have come to adore in Yang. Alright, no pun, son. How about you go get yourself a drink before your mouth goes dry? Don't worry, I'll be here, I chuckle. The monkey fawn is nodding his head before standing up and making his way through the crowd to get a drink. I look back up at Yang, seeing the blonde lift a red cup above her head and chug down whatever amount of punch she had left in the cup. You're making this too easy, Yang. I sit back, gazing around the room, but ultimately watching Yang as she talks with Weiss. Whatever conversation I was asked to leave the two alone for, clearly not done. And it must have some value if it is. It must have some value if it is keeping Yang away from me. Even with Sun making it a point to try to spend the evening with me. A good hour goes by with Sun and I finding minor subjects to talk about. All of them leading back to what could possibly be going on with the Roman Torchwick, a known faunus eater, to be working with the White Fang. At some, when he had gone for a refill, I spotted him taking a moment to start breakdancing in the middle of the dance floor, although he chose the completely wrong song to do so, a slow song. When he returns to me, I couldn't help but laugh, especially when he asked me if I like his dancing skills. I decided to peek back over to see if Yang and Weiss are still talking on the balcony, and become surprised to see only Weiss there, drinking from another red cup. So, just to change the topic a bit, how come you kept saying no to me each time I asked you to the dance? Was it really because of the whole cult comment? He asked, drinking from his cup, and adding a small shake of his head. Son has been talking with a slight slur in his voice, barely noticeable by most, but then again, my ears can pick up anything, including the slight lisp he's been picking up, and I know Son doesn't have a lisp. Hold that thought. I want a drink. I stand up, starting to walk by before I feel a gentle poke to my back. I wouldn't do that. Someone spiked the punch. Just warning. Nothing too strong though. But I don't think you drink, Son warns, still sporting that optimistic smile and attitude of his, but his eyelids slightly lower than usual. I'll check for soda or water then, I answer him. I'm petting my cat as I'm reading. He's so adorable. He's just sleeping right next to me. So cute. I answer him and begin shooting my way through the crowd of people. Within an hour, the amount of people inside has doubled, making it a minor task to maneuver around everyone, even making me resort to zigzagging my way towards the drink tables. As I reach the table, it appears that the first batch of cups have been long gone, and several stacks of red cups, still in their plastic bags, are on the table for people to reach in and grab. I go into the bag, fighting a brief battle with the plastic wrap to get a cup out. "Don't drink the punch," I hear a familiar voice whisper behind me. Before I can turn around, I can feel Yang's arms wrap around my waist. My waist. God damn it! What is wrong with me today? Ah! Sorry, kitty. It's coming. Alright. Before I could turn around, I could feel Yang's arms wrap around my waist, giving me a slight smile to finally have her near me for the first time tonight. Though I make a point to hide the satisfaction in my voice. "I am well aware you spiked the punch, Yang. Sun warned me before I came over here." Fuck, I just fucking shit. I just literally lost my breath. Sorry, kitty. "Sun warned me before I came over here, and I've noticed him starting to slur," I say to her, waiting for my smile to fade before looking at her from over my shoulder. "Yeah, well, Weiss is about to be on the third cup. No, I'm not getting her drunk. I just wanted to be air out a bit." RWBY isn't here yet, and she's doing her best to keep happy. Fuck, I'm yawning again. Yang let out a frustrated sigh. "I wanted to spend the night with you, you know? Believe me, this is not how I had the evening planned." "Yang, I am not in any way mad at you. As a matter of fact, I am proud to see you keeping your sister's girlfriend company. But at the same time, keeping Weiss isolated won't help her relax anymore. Don't forget that she is pretty serious about RWBY, so having her down here to chat with people won't run the risk of her flirting. She thinks herself far too above flirting anyway," I add, chuckling as I look up from where I am to see Weiss staring at the door, unaware that Yang and I are right below her. "Anyway, let me get a cup of soda or something, and I'll get back to his son. Why don't you come upstairs with me and Weiss? Though they say only 2 people are allowed on the balcony. There's that jealousy. It would be a bit rude to just leave him, Yang. Plus, I think it's a good bonding experience for you and Weiss. Who knows, you may even start feeling more comfortable with her dating RWBY." I smile, gently prying myself from Yang's grip on my waist so I can turn around and face her. "Hold that thought," Yang says in a slight rush while she crouches down, lifting the white covering of the table to show a cooler hidden underneath. She opens it up, pulling out a half-empty gallon of milk and pours it into the cup I just recently grabbed. I smile at her thoughtfulness and take a sip from the cup while she puts the gallon back. "That used to be full. I guess some people aside from you and RWBY actually like drinking cold milk." "Thanks, Yang. You didn't spike the milk too now, did you?" I grin, deciding to tease the blonde a bit more. "Nope. Aside from the water, I think that's the only thing that isn't spiked. So you spiked its soda too?" "No. Yes. Well, I don't want the prom to be all dull. I mean, look around. Everyone is giggling, having fun, and just enjoying themselves. Actually, Yang begins to giggle. Soon several others in the room begin to laugh until my ears get drowned out by the sounds of roaring laughter throughout the building. I look to see where Yang is looking and place my free hand over my mouth to muffle my laughs at the sight of John making an appearance in the dress that had been chosen for him between Yang and Pyrrha. The blonde boy walking through the crowd with everyone laughing and stepping aside to make room for him to pass. Eventually, finding his way to Pyrrha, who turns around and stiffens a small giggle at the sight of John wearing the dress with no shame in his gestures. Well, I think they look cute together. Pyrrha will make a good husband. I smile. Jesus Christ. Yang choking away her laughter at my comment, giving a shake of her head. Blake Belladonna, are you getting a sense of humor? Yang follows with a fake gasp of surprise. Just hush up and tell Weiss to come down. If you're worried about losing her, just sit her near the stairs. Neptune's over there, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to talk to her. Doesn't Neptune like Weiss? Yang asks, questioning my suggestion. Yes, he does, but I'm sure you trust Weiss, just like you trust me talking to Sun. I flash her a grin while I brush past her and start retreating through the crowd to join Sun again. Damn it, Blake! I hear Yang mumble while I disappear, a smile crossing my lips from her comment. Mainly because of her jealousy reminds me that she ideally cares about me. I make my way back to Sun. God damn it. Needless to say that he is surprised to see my cup filled with milk. It seems to be a bit calmer while he is buzzed, and with me away, I suppose the liquor is starting to settle into his system since he isn't as talkative. You know, I just want to ask to be a friend and all, but does Weiss talk about Neptune at all? That lady's hard to read sometimes. Sun looks at me. This is an odd situation to be in. I look up at the balcony, seeing Weiss is no longer there, but instead some girl with white tips in her hair. Taking a moment to look closer, I realize that it is actually RWBY. So that's why you were late. How sweet. Thinking about it now, telling Yang to leave Weiss with Neptune was a bad idea. RWBY has been a bit possessive lately. Shit. I should find Weiss right now and hope she isn't with Neptune. Sometimes, but anyway, I think Weiss is with Neptune right now, or at least she should be. Let's see if we can find him. I speak quickly, standing up with a clear rush in my movements. Sun is not far behind, though slightly delayed with his motions, which is expected. I am honestly amazed that he is still so responsive, although that just means he has a good tolerance to alcohol. I begin moving towards a staircase on the far side of the room. When I look up to the balcony and see RWBY is heading towards the other staircase, I change directions in hope of intercepting her. Fuck! I hope she doesn't see Weiss. Blake, wait up. Sorry. I hear some publish or so on while he tries to follow me, swaying through dancing couples. However, just as I reach the edge of this crowd, I pause, seeing that the damage is already done. Weiss is sitting and talking with Neptune, and RWBY is coming to the bottom of the nearby stairs, eyes locked onto the two of them. Blake, why are you in such a rush? I quickly elbow Sun in the gut, making him wince. What the fuck, Blake? That hurt. Shut up, Sun. I just made a big mistake. I clench my fist, watching an enraged RWBY being intercepted by a slightly unbalanced Weiss. What do you mean? Is that RWBY? Aren't her tips supposed to be red? I ignore Sun, clenching my fist as I look on, hoping RWBY doesn't make a difficult scene after seeing a slightly alcohol-influenced Weiss speaking with Neptune. Were you trying to hit on Weiss? I heard RWBY say, making me facepalm myself and wish I never had made the suggestion to Yang. Great job, Blake. Most genius move you ever made. I tune out Neptune stuttering and babbling, more focused on RWBY at this point, ready to move in should little red snap. For some reason, she already seems to be a little edgier than usual, but not being near Weiss on such an important night for the two of them could easily set even RWBY close to the edge. Neptune, stay away from her. I hear RWBY warn him with a rather menacing glare. Hey, she can't talk to Neptune like that. What the hell? I look to my side, seeing Sun about to step forward, and I quickly extend my arm to hold him back. And the monkey honest look at me with clear disapproval. Sun, if anyone is going to step in, it will be me. If you try to intimidate RWBY in any way, you will have Yang, Weiss, and myself on you. RWBY's our team leader, and we will not hesitate to defend her. Got it? I look at him, my stern stare letting him know I am completely serious. I look at him as he clenches his fist and takes a half step back, watching on with me at the event unfolding. Neptune, she's mine, RWBY says while lifting Weiss's face to meet her own. RWBY, don't tell me you're going to... Wait, what? I hear Neptune respond, at least until he sees RWBY place her lips to Weiss. I place my fist to my lips, amazed at RWBY's determination to make sure it is known that they are a couple. And boom goes the dynamite. Whoa, Weiss is gay? Sun gasped out in complete shock. Yeah, well, she isn't the only one, son. Gonna hate to have to break. Gonna hate to have to break it to you. Oh God. I'm sorry, my cat's so adorable. Look at right now. Oh my God, my cat! So adorable. Alright then. I'm thinking about it right now. Oh fucking shit. Huh. Fuck, I'm thinking. No, fuck it, we're done. It's already like an hour and 25, and I'd rather not this be longer. Alright. Sorry, guys. I know it's only 3 chapters, so I mean, like, I just did a fucking NSFW chapter for you guys. God damn it, I hate myself. Anyways. I'm glad that you guys... I'm glad for 50 subscribers, and I hope this channel continues growing. I mean, it's fucking awesome that you got to 50 subs, and, I did not expect this channel to be, you know, great to you guys. Anyways, we're pretty much almost to chapter 30. We're gonna, somewhere in the 30s, I will actually begin reading another story. And right now, I did say it was gonna be the Princess's Rogue, but right now I am actually in a battle between one story that's been suggested to me many times, which is Children of Summer, and that story, The Princess's Rogue. So I do not know yet. I might make a poll for you guys to, you know, you know, like vote on which one should it be, either Children of Summer or The Princess's Rogue by Tear of Light. And well, I don't know. You guys are gonna be pretty much the people that helped shape up this no, I mean, no, not, I didn't, I can't even say it wrong. You guys are gonna be the ones that pretty much, like, help me, like, or start narrating my next story, whichever it will be. So, alright. What will it be, you guys? You guys are making the decision, and, well, whichever one gets the most votes, I will read. So, when I talk about both stories, so I know The Princess's Rogue is made by Tear of Light. Sorry. Children of Summer is made by a person named Zeron. I don't know how to, I think I said their name right. But I will link their stories in the description. Anyways, they are both really amazing stories, but only one of them can be read. Along with A Beacon of Hope. So which one will it be? I will have a poll down in the description also, so you guys can vote there. You only have one vote, so make it count. Alright, well, this is the Dark and Rose signing off, and I will now present you a awesome video of me with my cat after this narration. Stay classy. Oh my god. Say hello to this sexy little cat. Kitty! Oh shit. Kitty. The microphone's blocking your face. Look at this adorable little face. Kitty, look at the camera. Oh, you're a cool little kitty.